Hey everyone. For those that don't know, in high level perception, I, Chapter 5, Inclusive Stakeholding, I published a project called Rich Patrons to go along with that chapter in my effort to inclusively stakehold and biomimic mycorrhizal networks and maximize the unleashing of everyone's gifts on the planet. And so this is my effort to do so, and there are a lot of other efforts that are going on to do so, and there's a massive crowdsourcing of ideas that's happening before the United States' 250th birthday in 2026, which is being this meme of inclusive stakeholding was first planted, the seed, and watered in my consciousness by Jun Yoon. And he also, prior to that, planted the seed of interdependent capitalism. I highly recommend reading those two books by him and his family and his foundation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unpack Rich Patrons, and I will hopefully be able to communicate why we need to unlock the $6 to $10 trillion that's currently locked up in ultra high net worth families and put that into the teams that are tackling the biggest challenges in the world, so that we can also get past all of the impending Fermi filters, especially given the fact that we are in the AI age. So let's do this. Rich Patrons: inclusive stakeholding, art, science, spirit, and philanthropy. All right. The first thing that I do on Rich Patrons is I make an analogy. The analogy that I make is between the House of Medici in the past and MrBeast in the present. So, in the past, we had the Medici family, were textile traders and innovative bankers who financed the invention of the piano and opera. They funded the construction of St. Peter's Basilica and the Florence Cathedral. They patroned Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael, the trinity of great masters of the Renaissance. Also patroning Galileo, Botticelli, Machiavelli, Brunelleschi, among many others in the arts and culture. They are the quintessential example of wealth acquisition followed by investment into unleashing the full potential of art and humanism. Alright, and now in the present with MrBeast. Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, is pioneering the archetype of YouTube philanthropy, where he and his team produce fun, family-friendly games and challenges for their subscribers to win thousands of dollars. Gifts range from cash to cars, houses, electronics, and more. Much is donated directly to people in need. He is the fastest-growing YouTuber because he is combining entertainment with philanthropy. Many content creators are now applying the strategy to grow and influence. Inclusive stakeholding is an inevitable pivot for our future. Really important analogy to draw there. The most successful mimetics of our future are going to be the ones that are blatantly in service to other, and then fueling whatever resources they gain from that process right back into it. So not self-dealing, but really biomimicking. All right. And then I jump into this really profound quote by Andrew Carnegie: "The rich should use their wealth to help enrich society." And that's from the Gospel of Wealth. And he was one of the most influential wealthy advocates for philanthropy. So there's approximately $6 to $10 trillion locked up in ultra high net worth individuals and families, and that's those who own assets of 30 million plus US dollars. And the number one reported issue from families is the lack of trust that their patronage / philanthropy will be used honestly. We provide that trusted outlet with the world's best teams. All right, and here are the patron options in the USA. So again, we're unlocking the money and we're funneling it into these best, highest level teams across the planet to tackle these biggest issues. So here are the patron options in the US. Rare disease. The biotech revolution is among us, but poor incentive structures prevent investment into tackling rare diseases. From CPT-1A, which prevents the body from burning fat once glycogen is depleted, to rare clusters of disease that even world-renowned doctors fail to solve until the introduction of hemp CBD. Our scientists are looking for $1 million to continue cataloging and solving rare diseases for all affected worldwide. Consciousness. What is the nature of consciousness? What does it have to do with who we are and why we are here? We have several teams doing research on theories, gathering the most brilliant minds in the space, and maximizing well-being by reducing unnecessary suffering through proven techniques and unleashing the innate peace and joy of being. Schools. Teachers have been doing their best educating new generations, given the growing population and pace of technology. New models that follow the child are rapidly spreading, providing novel curricula, leveraging everything from the Socratic method to artificial intelligence. A great example is our friends at Academy of Thought and Industry, who are looking to expand it to more cities in the USA. All right, 3 more options. Community. Although moving to metro areas remains favorable for young people, the areas they are leaving behind are experiencing a resurgence and specialization gearing up for the tech age. From social impact accelerators and innovation collectives to academies for heretical thinkers, our teams have systematized unleashing creativity in dozens of cities across the U.S., inspiring long-term thinking about what more beautiful, inclusive future we want to architect. Robotics. In preparation for the AI age, youth around the world are learning how to engineer robots to complete objectives on playing fields. This has been systematized by one of our partner organizations, First Robotics, who has a fast-growing charter in the Bay Area called Playing at Learning. Supporting children in the U.S. to learn these skills prevents them from entering careers that face automation. This combination of learning while playing is key. Art. One of the most underappreciated and representative of all career paths in modernity is art, yet it is a major key for meaning, inspiration, and divinity. We are fixing this desacralization with re-architecting incentives to support local artists, especially those with moonshot projects like crowdsourcing to give gigantic pieces of art between countries and new perennial spiritual temples that provide spaces in the U.S. for communion with higher purpose. And anytime you click on this Get Involved button on the screen, it'll take you directly to richpatrons@gmail.com, which anybody can inquire whether you're one of the families that want to get involved of ultra high net worth, or whether you're an organization that wants to list yourself on Rich Patrons. All right, Rich Patrons globally. This is the patron options on the global level. Entrepreneurs. Across the world, entrepreneur creativity is being hindered by unnecessary frictions. This molasses usually arises as corrupt governments, tyrannical laws, and service-to-self dynamics that result in ideas never being executed. Our friend Miguel Wade is eradicating these issues in Dakar, Senegal by unlocking free markets to overcome poverty, and we are looking to do the same in other areas worldwide. Mental health. Early interventions to prevent trauma drastically augment life trajectories. We are helping youth and adults quickly rebound from major stress, as well as educate to avert it altogether in both Kenya with our partner Tom Okumu Osborne and in Israel with our friends over at Wisdo. Increasing worldwide efficiency with overcoming life challenges to actualize gifts by leveraging technology and mentorship. Idealism. Our friends Dr. Bernardo Kastrup and Fred Matzer with their Essentia Foundation in the Netherlands are mainstreaming metaphysical idealism in order to bring people together around how conscious experience is fundamental to well-being and fundamental to being. We believe by coming at reality from this perspective, we can better bridge science with spirituality and tackle the biggest challenges humanity faces. 3 more. Morphic fields. What is the field around a flock of birds or school of fish? How are they communicating with each other to move so flawlessly as a cohesive whole? What about human social fields? Our friends Dr. Rupert Sheldrake and his team in the UK are conducting experiments on joint attention and telephone telepathy, aiming to prove their planted flags beyond the edge of knowledge. We are also looking for $500,000 to build a mobile application to test morphic resonance in a game-based style with youth. Lineage preservation. Our economic machinery brought us great flourishing, but has come with tremendous downsides that we must solve, including the displacement of millions of indigenous people and their wisdom traditions, which are oozing with knowledge paramount for modernity to embody. We have local teams working on the Kogi lineage in Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta in Colombia and the Tibetan Buddhist lineage in Tibet and India. With ethnographic condensation hastening, we must act quickly to preserve. Entheogens. Entheogen means unleash the divine within. There is nothing more important than each of us unlocking our unique communion with reality and unleashing our gifts to the world. The assistance of plant medicines, animal secretions, and synthetics have healed veterans, reversed orphan diseases in teenagers, and are slowly becoming decriminalized in developed countries, unlocking whole new waves of enlightenment to come. Support our teams doing this work globally. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some other options. So rich patrons do not only have to participate on a monetary level, they have to participate on a real estate level. They have the option too. And this means, according to UBS, that's Union Bank Switzerland, there are 225,000 ultra high net worth worldwide who each own on average 3 to 4 homes. If you'd like to share your unused properties to house our teams, we have trusted channels to do so. This can act as an alternative or complement alongside giving direct monetary patronage. Our teams keep properties in exceptional condition. We are flexible with time periods and notices, hoping to both get you involved in this next wave of inclusive stakeholding and more easily provide the basic needs for unleashing creative gifts to so many worldwide. So they have the option, you have the option as rich patrons to get involved on a housing level and on a monetary level, or one of the two. But the teams and the most creative, artistic, entrepreneurial, scientific minds, spiritual minds on the planet also need this assistance with all of the unused properties. Let them live there. Level of involvement. Some ultra-high net worth choose to give anonymously, which we of course precisely respect. Others have chosen to actively partake in their patronage and even become friends with our teams. Families will occasionally ask for sponsor recognition or to patron our catalog rather than specific options. We accommodate many of these variants. Out of all these combinations of involvement, the choice is up to you. Alright, and this breaks down the decoupling of real GDP per capita and median male income, which happened in 1971. And clearly, exclusive stakeholding became most pronounced after 1971 when median male income decoupled from real GDP per capita in the USA. While our ultra-high net worth friends and globalizers became extravagantly wealthier, 50% of Americans can't afford a sudden $500 crisis bill. Actions have reactions. In this case, what transpired for 50 years has been causing destabilizing downstream effects on the psyche of our general populace. Inclusive stakeholding reverses these tumultuous issues where everyone is uplifted, similar to mycorrhizal networks enabling exchanges of carbon, nutrients, and water between trees, fungi, and plants. Economic biomimicry. Scientists used isotope tracing to discover a miraculous underground two-way interdependent resource highway. It wasn't just large trees sharing nutrients, but they even got back nitrogen and phosphorus, which are vital for their growth. It's obvious our forest ecosystems are an ideal model for us to follow. A simple effort of economic biomimicry solves this worrisome issue for humans. People who become stakeholders in the collective ship we are building and steering take that financial success and pour it into their family, education, health, wellness, business, artistry, and prosperity, further perpetuating economic growth. The pioneers. Over the last several years, Dr. Jun Yoon has been relentlessly pursuing inspiring people to rethink society's architectures through the lens of evolutionary biology. It's paramount for us to extend our inclusive values from our local village to the entire world. In Interdependent Capitalism and Inclusive Stakeholding, Jun and his family outline a multitude of frameworks we are implementing to make this transition, of which Rich Patrons is one. From Medici to MrBeast, the emergence of a service to other culture zeitgeist has been protruding through the veil of normalcy via myriad uncommon leaders over the centuries. Today's internet and tomorrow's AI generation are hungry for a way to fully unleash the unique gifts of every soul. Inclusive stakeholding with Rich Patrons does exactly this. Pick among our teams and projects, plus your level of involvement, and get on board early with a trusted partner in this modern renaissance. And that's it. And you can click get involved there or up here under the global or under the USA, or at the very top up here as well. So that's in essence what Rich Patrons is. Again, we are very simply just trying to biomimic the mycorrhizal networks and the wisdom within them. And we want to architect civilization given decentralization technologies in a way that follows that. So we are a trusted outlet for unlocking the $6 to $10 trillion in ultra high net worth families and individuals that their number one reported issue is to not have that trusted outlet. And what we will be doing is we will be continuing to invest that money, whether it's 10,000, 5,000, 50,000, 25,000, 100,000, 75,000, a million, however much we're given, we're able to dedicate directly to these teams and projects across the planet in a very trusted way. And then the level of involvement of the rich patrons get to pick how much they want to be involved, if they want to be completely anonymous, if they want to be involved a little bit, if they want brand recognition, all of these types of things. And then in doing so, we maximize the success of things like the Sustainable Development Goals. We maximize the success of all of our creative fruits being unleashed into the world, period. So that's the essence of Rich Patrons. It's part of High Level Perceptions, Chapter 5 on inclusive stakeholding. And this is that mycorrhizal symbiosis. And then this is another massive reason why, giving the AI age, that we have to, Bloom's 2 Sigma, we have to reach down and help people that are in the crosshairs of automation of software and hardware upskill their labor into more Rube Goldberg style ways of creativity. Genius that happens once. All right. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in to this bit on Rich Patrons. Check out the link in the bio below. And also put this in front of the people that need to see it. Put this in front of both the ultra high net worth people around the planet that need this, that need to see this, even those are just a couple thousand or a couple tens of thousands of dollars that want to invest it somewhere that's a trusted outlet. We are that trusted outlet. We have the world's most brilliant scientists, engineers, artists, spiritual leaders that are working on these different projects that have already had great success in these fields that need that little bit more fuel under their ass. And so if you want to contribute monetarily or with your home that you don't use at all every year, I hear of more and more people as I climb up the hierarchy that tell me that, yeah, we have properties, we don't even stay there at all throughout the year. It's like, open up that property right now to people that are trusted, that are vetted, for them to come and live there so they can actualize their gifts into the world, because we all desperately need them. And they don't need the overhead pressures of needing to instantly be making money in the economy. And that's what's holding back so many people's gifts right now. And also share it with people, not only the ultra high net worths, but also those artists, entrepreneurs, scientists, engineers, spiritual leaders, those people that want a place for them to be able to put themselves out there. We have many other projects that are unlisted on this website that are in a catalog that the rich patrons can choose from. So if you want to be a part of that catalog, we will vet you. Reach out. Again, that's richpatrons@gmail.com. So reach out to us. Much love. Let's biomimic mycorrhizal networks. Let's maximize human potential. And let's unlock those trillions of dollars and put them to good use around the planet of meeting the basic needs of people and unleashing their full gifts, tackling the SDGs. I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. We got this. Much love. Peace.